James bounced on the balls of his feet. He clutched a box labeled kitchen stuff as he surveyed his new apartment. It wasn't much, but it was his. A wave of excitement washed over him. A new city, a fresh start. What more could he ask for? He placed the box on the worn countertop. He couldn't wait to unpack and make this place his own. He wandered from the cramped kitchen, past the tiny bathroom, into the bedroom. It was then that he noticed it. A door. He hadn't seen it before. It was tucked away in the corner, almost hidden in shadow. Curiosity tugged at him. The landlord hadn't mentioned an extra room. He tried the knob, locked. He peered through the keyhole. Darkness. His heart thumped. Was there a secret room in his apartment? James backed away from the door, a nervous laugh escaping his lips. Just an old closet, he muttered to himself, trying to quell the rising unease. But deep down, a thrill shot through him. A locked room? This was better than he imagined. The locked door became an obsession. Each time James passed by, he felt an irresistible pull to try it again. He even started carrying a set of lockpicks he'd found at a flea market. Just in case, he'd told the old vendor with a wink. Days turned into weeks. The locked door remained a silent sentinel guarding its secrets. One afternoon, James decided he'd had enough. He knelt before the door, his fingers working with practiced ease on the lockpicks. Click. The lock yielded. He took a deep breath, his hand trembling as he turned the knob. The door creaked open as if protesting after years of silence. A musty smell, like old books and forgotten memories, wafted out. He peered into the darkness, his heart pounding. He took a hesitant step inside, the floorboards groaning beneath his weight. The only light came from the hallway, casting long, eerie shadows across the room. The room was small and dusty. Cobwebs clung to the corners like ghostly fingers. A single rickety chair sat in the center, bathed in a sliver of light from the hallway. The air was thick with an oppressive silence. And then he heard it. A whisper. Soft, barely audible, but there. It seemed to come from the very walls themselves, a low, mournful sound. He froze, his blood turning to ice. "Hello?" His voice cracked, betraying his fear. The whispers grew louder, weaving around him, taunting him. He couldn't make out the words, but the tone sent shivers down his spine. His eyes darted around the room, searching for the source of the whispers. That's when he saw it. In the far corner, shrouded in darkness, a figure began to take shape. Tall and slender, it seemed to melt from the shadows themselves. Panic surged through him, tightening his chest. He had to get out. The figure moved closer, gliding effortlessly through the darkness. James stumbled back, his foot catching on something on the floor. He fell, his hand scraping against the rough wood. The whispers were all around him now, a cacophony of voices accusing, threatening. His blood ran cold. He scrambled back, fear lending him a burst of strength. He had to get out, had to escape this nightmare, but it was too late. The figure stood before him, its features obscured by the shadows. He could feel its cold, dead eyes boring into him, stealing his breath. A cold hand, like the touch of death, reached out from the darkness and clamped over his mouth, stifling his scream. He thrashed against the inevitable, but it was no use. The whispers grew louder, swirling around him, dragging him down into the darkness.